Hello, once again. Thank you so much for waiting. I'm so sorry about this whole charger confusion in this house. I'm really sorry. I hope this time it will work out. Okay, so like I said, today we are doing episode 26, which is about scholarships and the scholarships and the application processes. Okay, so I said for today, this evening, so our guest for tonight is Lennon Ruizi, right? And I said like I'll try and add him on. Sorry about that. He's been waiting for quite long, quite patiently. Yeah. So the idea for today was to say, it's easily say that people go abroad, right? Some have their own funds. They do that. They go and study abroad using their own funds. And some have to get scholarships to be able to go and study abroad. Right. So if they are going to go and study abroad, right, what are the procedures for getting scholarships? What are the costs? Maybe we'll also be able to touch on bursaries. I'm hoping we'll be able to touch on that. If not, maybe we'll do it another day, but definitely scholarships and the application processes. And where do you get that information? Okay, so that's what we are dealing with today. And like I said, we have Lennon, our guest. Let me see if I can add him. Let's see if I can add him. I tried to add him earlier on, but I couldn't hear him. You could see me, but I couldn't hear him. Though he could hear me, so there was a breakdown on that one. So I'm sorry about that. But let's try and see if we can get somehow connected. Lennon, if you can see me, please send me like a request, or I'm trying to send you one. Yeah. I can see you are there, but I seem not to be able to add you for now. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, like I said, the idea today is to say, you know what, there is a way to go and study abroad or in diaspora. Yeah, it doesn't mean always like going all the way far, but sometimes you can be hanging around in other different countries, right? So that's the idea. Where do you get that information? And what does it mean that you get a scholarship? What are some of the conditions? What are you supposed to consider? What the thinking process of you applying for one or you getting one? Where do you get that information? It just doesn't come from nowhere, right? So that's what we are dealing with today, to say there is a way, right? There is a way to study abroad. That's what we are dealing with. Okay, so our guest is Lennon Ruizi. He will tell us about the process because he has gone through the process himself. So he knows what he is already helping others apply for scholarships. So without me sending, okay. Hello, dear. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You know what? You can hear me. Can you hear me?
you hear me?
Okay. You are cutting off. I can hear a bit. You know what? Let me try and see if I put the headphones, if it will work better, because I can hardly hear you. At least now I can see you are back again. So let me try and put my headphones on. Let's see if you can you hear me. Can you hear me? Yeah. Lennon, my volume is on full blast. Can you add your volume and see like if you can increase it? May you increase your volume over there? Lennon, may you increase your volume over there? Because from Nyari saying she can't hear you too. And I cannot hear anything.
Yeah.
Volume. Put some volume. We can hardly hear you. Okay. I can.
Okay. Yes, Pimbai, I can hear you now.
I can. Oh, there was something there.
Oh, there was something there. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what? For the benefit of the speakers
You know
today,
what? For the benefit of the
I will
speakers
keep
today,
quiet and you do the
yes,
talking.
I
Is
will
that a
keep
deal?
quiet and you do the talking. Is that a deal?
Okay.
Let's do that and quickly
Yes.
get
So I will
started.
keep quiet, and if I have a
So
question,
I will
I will
keep
just
quiet,
try
and
and
if I
make it
have a
real
question,
snappy,
I will just
and
try
then you
and make
just
it
do the
real
talking, and I'll be
snappy,
quiet.
and then you just do the talking, and I'll be quiet. That's great.
Okay.
That's great.
So guys, once again, I'm really sorry about
Okay.
this. So
guys,
today,
once again, I'm
I
really
will try
sorry
and
about
keep
this.
quiet
So today,
and let
I will
Lennon
try and
talk
keep
because I
quiet
have
and let
echoes and I
Lennon
don't know
talk
how to
because
get
I
rid of
have
them.
echoes and I don't know how
And so
to get
that
rid
we
of them.
don't lose him
Yeah.
again,
And so that we
I'll
don't
keep
lose him
quiet. So
again,
Lennon, over to
I'll
you,
keep
please.
quiet. So Lennon, over to you, please. Oh, okay. Yeah, so guys, I would want to share information about scholarship funding. Like the background has been given by Vimbai, and the background is that in and around our communities, we have a lot of very talented young women and young men who are talented academically, but they come from very unfriendly backgrounds economically. We have so many of them who have scored 15 points, they've scored 20 points high school, and some have done very well at degree level, at university level. But with the situation in some of our communities, it's not allowing for our people to really make it to uni or to really advance their university qualifications beyond the first degree. So I think like what Pimbai and the program they did last week, it's a continuation of that program to give more flesh and add more information as to what are the scholarship opportunities, what are the funding alternatives that are open for Zimbabweans, for South Africa. I can see two of my South African friends who are here. What exactly can they do? What's the process of putting together an application? What are the deadlines? What is needed? So that if you know of somebody in Zimbabwe, if you know of your sisters and brothers, relatives and friends, you can, through WhatsApp, communicate to them some of this information as to these opportunities, the process that they have to go through when applying. So the first thing that I wanted to note as of now is that I know so many scholarships in South Africa, some in Australia, I think 3 or 4 to study in the UK, some in Canada. Then the Swedish Institute offers scholarships that are going to open in October, and quite a number of scholarships also in the US, but I'm not so much versed with the system in the US. So this session is to share this information in the hope that it might help even one person, that it might help 2 or 3 young people who are in the villages, in townships in Zimbabwe, or wherever you may think of. So the first scholarship that opens annually is in South Africa. It's called the Canon Collins Trust Scholarship. It closed, unfortunately, it closed yesterday. But maybe for those who might want to apply next year, if you have if you are finishing school this year and you want to apply next year, the Canon Collins Trust Scholarship sponsors students from South Africa. It's a full scholarship. It sponsors students in South Africa, sponsors students from Zimbabwe, Kenya, Namibia, and basically a lot of our Southern African countries. Then from the 5th of August to the 5th of November, the Chevening Scholarship to UK universities opened for applications for 2020-2021. So like you might know, universities in the UK, they open sometime in September. That's when the academic year in the UK begins. So the Chevening Scholarship for the next academic year, which begins in September next year, is open and they are taking applications. It closes on the 5th of November. So as of now, the Chevening Scholarship to send students to the UK is open. And the good thing about it is that South African students, Zimbabwean students, if you know of any, who want to go and study in the UK, it's open, it's taking applications for the next academic year. So from the 5th of August to the 5th of November, you have about 3 months, 90 days to prepare your application, to go through all the processes, to compile all your documents, to prepare your statement of purpose, your motivations, get recommendations from this or the other person. So I would want, guys, if you know of anybody who is in need of a scholarship, the Chevening Scholarship to study at UK universities is open. And I know quite a few people who are also on that scholarship who can assist with information, who can give recommendations as to how best you can tailor your application, what you need to include, how you need to write, so that you increase your chances of being selected for the interview or even to go beyond the interview stage. Then the third one is the DAD scholarship, DAAD. It's a scholarship that sends students for postgraduate studies in German. I do not know how to pronounce exactly in German, but it's DAAD.
Dad.
It's
Yeah,
a scholarship
hast du
for
richtig gesagt? You
master
said it well.
student. Yes.
Ja, hast du richtig gesagt. You said it well.
Oh, thank you. So it's a scholarship that sends students, and one of the countries that are listed also is Zimbabwe, and most Southern African countries are listed there. So they will sponsor you to. I see Dr. Shoughton. Dr. Shoughton is here. He's also an alumni of the DAD scholarship. So I'm sure you might know better because he was sponsored for his doctorate by that scholarship. He can also be handy to assist with the process. But as of now, I cannot remember very well the closing date. But the DAD scholarship is open for master's degrees, for PhD degrees. It's a fully funded scholarship that sponsors students from Zimbabwe. Of course, they sponsor so many students from different countries. But if you are a Zimbabwean student who dreams of going to Germany to do your PhD degree, to do your master's degree, this could be an opportunity for you to fulfill that dream of doing a PhD or a master's degree. They are open for applications. They'll send you to a German university of your choice on the condition that you are accepted at that university. So it's another scholarship also that is open. So what I usually encourage young people to do is to compile these scholarships that I'm listing. If there are 30 of them, if there are 50 of them, have a list, a booklet, the beginning of the year, because they have got so many deadlines that differ throughout the year. So compile all of them, if there are 20, if there are 30 that you are eligible to apply, so that you tick. If you have submitted that one, you tick. My master's degree, I did the master's degree in law at the University of Cape Town. It was paid for a fully funded scholarship called MasterCard Foundation. So that was going to be my fourth scholarship that I wanted to share with you guys. The MasterCard Foundation scholarship at the University of Cape Town They are taking students from Southern Africa, fully funded. I was somewhere in Wedza in the village. It's a very interesting story. I was somewhere in the village with no idea whatsoever as to my next move in life. So I submitted, I think I submitted about 12 scholarship applications. And the process can be frustrating because some will send you regret letters. Some will say you've qualified for the second stage. Some will say, unfortunately, you didn't make it for your interview. So from the 12 scholarships that I applied, I got 3. Then the other one, they didn't respond to my application. So I would want to encourage parents, if you're a guardian, if you are, to have a list of all fully funded scholarships that your child is eligible for. Apply and encourage them to apply throughout the year, such that by the end of the year, you would have applied for 15 to 20 scholarships. It's a process, tiring. Sometimes it's very frustrating to get regret letters and you're told this and that. But I'm sure of those 15 or 10 that you might apply, you will not miss 2 or 3 that will accept you and that will offer you a scholarship opportunity. So I'm on the MasterCard Foundation scholarship at the University of Cape Town. It's a fully funded scholarship. They give you accommodation, quite a good place to stay. They give you food allowance and living allowance. They give you about 30,000 for the first semester. Then they give you another 30,000 for the second semester. You get your food allowance. You also get your book allowance. You get your medical cover. Then you also have, for me, coming from the village, I was given a flight from Harare International Airport to, it was such a dream that you get an opportunity to come from such a background to a very good university, probably arguably the best university in Africa. So it's a very good scholarship opportunity that you do not miss. Apart from your academic commitments, they also train you in leadership. They also train you with entrepreneurship skills. Then they also help you to get a job and career advice. They assist you with so much, which I cannot mention for purposes of time. But it's another good opportunity that I wish all our people in Zimbabwe would look forward to every year, to submit applications. And the good thing is, once they've accepted your application, they don't do interviews. You're offered a full scholarship at once. So that is the MasterCard Foundation scholarship at the University of Cape Town. They have also a MasterCard Foundation scholarship at the University of Pretoria that offers different programs from my program. Here's the idea. The reason why we are exposing this and so many of this scholarship is that you may have a list of them, that you may have as many of them that most Zimbabweans are eligible to apply. Start now, and by the time you get to next year, you would have applied for as many as you can. The sixth is the Mandela Road Scholarship. The Mandela Road Scholarship is a very good scholarship, arguably the best scholarship in Africa, some say. It's a very prestigious award that they give you to go to any university in South Africa. In terms of monetary value, I've not heard of a scholarship that offers as much as they give for a student who is on that scholarship. So the Mandela Road Scholarship is closed as of now, but next year they usually open from April to sometime in June. It's I really encourage people to apply for that opportunity. Apart from funding your studies, apart from whatever they do, They also train you with leadership skills. So you do a lot of workshops throughout your time with them. You also get an opportunity to get a mentor, a life coach who helps you with situations, how to get through this, and they also, to some extent, help you to find a job and give you suggestions as to your career options. So that is another opportunity as well that I would want to share. I think, Vimbai, at the end of this, we can compile all these scholarships so that you can post on your page, and if possible, people can have access and the deadlines, the websites, and all that.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
we can do that. I can send you via email.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Then there's another one. They are fully funded scholarships to go to the University of Melbourne in the University of Melbourne is in Australia. So I got from an old colleague who was telling me that the University of Melbourne, the deadline is just close by. It's very near. I think end of next week, the University of Melbourne will be closing fully funded scholarships at the University of Melbourne. I do not know so much about the process because it's my first time to hear of it. I think I heard about it 2 weeks ago. But before I forget, this is a scholarship that I got to know of yesterday. It's called the Nestle Talent Bursary. The Nestle Talent Bursary. It's it's due on the 24th of August, which is 2 days from now. So if you are a high school child, sorry, no, I'm not saying child. So if you are a high school student, or if you have just finished your A-levels, they are sending students from 3 countries, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Kenya. I wish I could go on my laptop.
Yeah, go ahead, pick it up. We need all the information.
No, I'm afraid from here. I think my network is acting up. Yeah. Okay. So for this, I can send you the PDF. If there are people who are interested, they can always inbox me.
Yeah, definitely.
Or go and go and check on our page. I've posted it, but the problem is that we are only 2 days away from the deadline. It's due on the 24th. They've got a list of programs, the fully funded scholarship. That means they'll pay for your accommodation, they'll pay for your tuition, they'll give you living allowance, book allowance, and all your allowances. So this is a very great opportunity. It's called the Nestle Talent Bursary. It's due on the 24th. So if you know a high school child who has been admitted at a university in South Africa, who has been admitted at a university in Zimbabwe, who is academically talented, that is, students who are really top-notch, who are performing very well, please forward this information to them for free of charge. We are not going to charge anybody. Forward and disseminate this information to them so that, I don't know, we also need to take responsibility to help these young people to get these opportunities, at least to submit applications, encourage them, because in my inbox and on my WhatsApp, I get a lot of these, Lennon, I have 20 points. You have 20 points. Let's see your certificate. They send you their certificate, certified, everything legit. Lennon, I also have 10 A's on my O levels, but my mother cannot afford an opportunity for me to go to uni. It's really heartbreaking that we have so many of these young people who really are hungry to go to school. They are really hungry to do well for themselves. So if you know of any opportunities in terms of scholarships, please let's help these young people to get access to these opportunities. We might not necessarily want to give them money because money is sensitive, but let's try to help them to access these funding opportunities. Let's find ways. So, Vimbai, I have five
Yeah,
more.
sure, go ahead.
If I'm not
No,
going to
don't
waste
worry,
your
go
time.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm learning to keep quiet.
Yeah, okay.
I'm learning to keep quiet.
It's all right, don't worry, just continue. It's
all right,
quite
don't worry,
sensitive
just continue.
information. We really need
It's
that information.
quite sensitive information. We really need that information. So
Yeah, okay. So before I go to that, my friend, fortunate, she got that opportunity at the London Business School. I think she's doing a master's degree with the London Business School, so she could also be very resourceful to assist us with this knowledge and these processes as to what really happens, what are the time frames, how do you go about it, and all that. So maybe after I go, you could also have fortunate sharing part of your story as to how she got that.
Yeah.
So my next scholarship, I got to know about this last year from a colleague who's doing his PhD in philosophy in Sweden. It's called the Swedish Institute Scholarships. The Swedish Institute Scholarships. If you Google that, they start admitting, taking applications in August, in October for the next academic year. So the Swedish Institute Scholarships, they are fully funded opportunities to go to Sweden, study at the Swedish, and it's fully funded. Some people telling me that they were having intake. They were saying it's quite easy to go through, and they're very flexible with their admissions. So it's an opportunity, but for this, it's only for honors degrees and PhDs in Sweden. And I think, then there's the scholarship. The other one that I shared with you was the Rhodes Mandela. This one is the Rhodes Scholarship straight. The Rhodes Scholarship opportunity will take you to the Oxford University in England. And I'm not so sure. I wish I was sitting on my laptop. I was going to check the due dates, the deadline, and the processes. But for one, I know they are open for applications for 2020, 2021. Then, of course, in America, there's the Fulbright, scholarship to go to American universities. Fulbright scholarship, I checked about it the other time when I applied. So I really of what we are doing here. You might know in Zimbabwe, they do not and some of them to really get into the laptop in an internet cafe for more than 3 hours, 4 hours. It's very so we need to find ways of getting access to internet streaming services not have. So I've WhatsApp platform disseminating this in the hope that those who are interested to apply, we can assist them to put together applications. Maybe I see where you are really desperate, stuck in a village. My village, my guy, and I'm gonna go 2 weeks kusina magetsi, kusina internet, kusina mobile phone in the village. So it's that situation where you feel like we must also do something for other people to assist those who are really desperate to get to uni, to acquire an education and really go as far as they can. So guys, I know of some scholarships. If you know of any scholarship, I know I've not exhausted all of them. But right now, if you know of any scholarship opportunity, you can contact Wimbai on a Facebook page. You can feel free also to inbox me if you know of any scholarships that you think we can disseminate so that we can help young people. Um, yeah, I've been in that situation where you really do not know where you're going to find your next rent. So I think we also need to find ways of helping young people when they are at uni, before they go to uni, and even post-university, as to what really they can do with their lives, where can they get these opportunities, and what best can they do to really find meaning in their lives. So that's all I can say for now. If you have any questions as to the application processes, how to apply for a scholarship, how to put together a decent statement of purpose, a statement of motivation, where do you get your recommendations, what should be written in your recommendation letter, when exactly, who do you really contact or who do you approach for you to get a recommendation letter. So I got my recommendation letters from a lecturer, and then I also indicated that I volunteered at church to do this and that, and I got a recommendation from my pastor. The other one I got from somewhere where I volunteered at an orphanage. I feel like these are things that we know to ask for those. I think my internet is acting now.
Yeah, you're breaking off a bit, but let's see if we can continue. Okay, like we are saying, if you listen to the information, so it doesn't just mean you don't do anything. Even if you are still young, see that you give back something to the society. It doesn't matter how small, but that could be your final ticket to get into another advantage. That's why he's talking about.
That's what he's talking about.
Oh yes. So I that's the issue on our young people.
You are breaking, my dear.
Because some of these would tell you that, oh, can you hear me now? I think it's much better now.
You are really breaking off.
You
Can you repeat
really
the last two sentences that you just said?
Repeat the last two sentences that you just said?
Okay. No, I was saying even if you are awarded a scholarship, there's so much pressure on you to perform, because one of the conditions of my first scholarship when I did my law degree was that I was never supposed to fail one module. So throughout my 4 years, I was never going to, if I had failed one module, I was out of the scholarship. So, so you are under a lot of pressure to maintain a certain grade, a certain standard, a certain performance. So these are things also that you really need to, I don't know how to put it, but it's not easy to survive on a scholarship, even if you get it, because there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure from family. There's a lot of financial pressure. There's a lot that affects young people when they're at uni. And I personally feel like some of the platforms that we have created so far, they must be healthy for our young people who have gone to uni, especially those who have gone to uni on scholarships. And also, it's not only about getting an opportunity to do that, but also to mentor young leaders or people with an attitude towards leadership for tomorrow. Young people with an attitude towards entrepreneurship, young people with an attitude towards transforming the lives of our communities. So that's what I personally think we should be doing, and maybe it starts with helping the underprivileged who are in our communities to achieve their dreams. So I don't know, Vimbai, page that we are running.
Sorry, I didn't get that. May you repeat the last thing that you said?
On that page, whenever I know interest or whenever I know.
Sorry, I didn't get that. May you repeat the last thing that you said?
Yes, definitely. I think that would be a good idea.
Yes, definitely. I think that would be a good
We
idea.
can work it out and then we'll post it here.
Yeah,
like
we can
that
work it
page.
out
Like
and
I
then
said
we'll
today, I'm
post
not
it here.
talking much because I've got echoes, otherwise we'll spoil the whole thing. But I think
Talking much
I'll be
because I've
interested
got
in working with you on
echoes,
that.
we'll spoil the whole thing. But I think I'll be interested in working with you on that.
Okay, no. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. It's unfortunate that my internet is not so good tonight, but it's coming from that place that we have so many opportunities. We have so many study opportunities beyond high school, first degree, your master's, PhD, and some even for postdoctoral studies from all over the place. There are universities in Bucharest. I got a contact from Professor Bachelor in the afternoon. She was telling me that there are opportunities for Zimbabweans at a university in Bucharest, in Romania.
Mm-hmm.
There are universities in Belgium that are accepting. So I think we need to seize the moment and find ways of introducing young people to these opportunities. You never know that at least if these opportunities transform the life of one child, 2 children, I think that would be something great that would have done for somebody else. So thank you very much for having me tonight on your platform. I really appreciate.
No, the pleasure is mine. You definitely come back. You can be sure about that.
Definitely come back. You can be sure about that.
Sorry, today it was a one-way street. I couldn't engage with you, but you did a good job. Okay,
but you did a good job.
Let's check on the comments if there is anything that you can quickly answer. If you can go on the comments and see what you can answer, I still have my echoes in my ears.
What you can see.
David says that she knows of somebody who needs help. That person is in Zimbabwe. So
okay, there is the last one from Nyembezi. How do we get information on Romanian and Belgium? Okay. Sorry, guys, he is gone for now. That was Aleno Rui. Sorry, today it was a one-way street because our internet was not allowing our chitty chatty as usual. But I hope you got the best out of this information. Okay, so I had Mas who wanted to join in because she has information to share with us. Let me see if I can add her. But I don't think she is my friend. Let's see if I can just add her. Mas, are you still there? Mas Fortunate, are you still there? Give me a sign if you still want to talk, if you still want to share your information, because that's really why we do these sessions. Okay, so once again, I'll say thank you, really a big thank you to Lennon Ruizi for such an informative evening. Right, so like we said, like he has already said, if you have information to share about where are the scholarships, what are the okay, let me see if I can add you. Just a second, let me see if I can add you to this. To say, if you know how to get this information, if you know where to get the next scholarships, right? If you know any information that you can give that will help somebody, please, by all means, do contact us. All right, do contact us so that we can help other children. Maybe you and me are too late to study.
No, it's not too late for anybody to study. I'm still in. I went back to school. Okay, so it is an opportunity for anybody who wants to go back. Of course, some scholarships will come with conditions. If it doesn't help your own child, maybe it will help your neighbor's child. And then, then it's already a family helped, right? So what goes round comes round. You are not doing it just for you. You are doing it for the next generations to come. If you know information about scholarship, about bursaries, if you say, I went through the process and I know what to do, by all means, please contact me so that we can connect you with we want to build a network, or there is a network already. Let me say there is a network already. Like I know Lennon is already doing something. So we can hook up with Lennon and expand on his group that is already started. We don't want to try and see like as if I'm the one who's just doing things here. There are so many people who are doing things out there, right? But the thing is, let's network all those who know information that can help somebody. That's what coaching, that's what coaching, that's what mentorship is about. We have to network. There are some people who are here today in diaspora who came because somebody somewhere helped them. So if they retain that favor, or they remember that somebody somewhere helped them, right? That will help somebody else. So that way we network our resources. We will help more children, right? I might not be able to fund somebody, right? But the fact that I know there is this information that we are sharing here, it will help somebody. That's what we are talking about. That's what this session is all about. To say, you know what you know, please help. Let us contact others. Okay, so let's see if there's still, there is Mas here who wants to come and share with us. She said, so getting in touch with Lennon is through the platform only. Okay, we will share. For now, we will share his details. Like you will prepare like a nice information package where you will have his details, because he's already doing something, so that all those who want to work with him directly will contact him. And then, like he already mentioned, that we will also create a Facebook page extra for that. And then that way we have like those who have information coming in, and those who wants to get the help that they need also coming in. Then we have like a two-way process. Let's see if I can get okay, he's back. Let's see if we can add him back. Let's see Lennon is back. Let's see if I can add him. Okay, and maybe you'll be able to answer one or two questions. Right, I'm trying to add him now. Just please hold on while we add him. Okay, and like I said, those who want those, okay, good. Lennon, hold on. We have some we have Marcia adding in, and then I'll get back to you again. In the meantime, you start working on the questions. Hello, darling. How are you?
My first time to go live on your platform. Hello, everyone.
Oh, brilliant. Don't you worry. You always see there's always funny here. And there's no good wrong.
No, I love the work.
Okay, so what's your story?
I love the work that you're doing for everyone, reaching out to the young and the old and trying to get them to be educated. That's a very good initiative. I would like to say thank you for doing that. So I would like to share my story regarding my process and how I got a scholarship at London Business School.
Okay, before you go, may you increase your volume because I can hardly hear you.
Let me put on my earphone.
Yeah, it's okay. And I will keep quiet so that you talk. Is that okay? Because I still have echoes here.
Just hold on. Can you hear me now?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So my name is Fortunate. Mas is just part of my surname, Masie. So my name is Fortunate. Okay. I would like to share with everyone about my how I got into London Business School and how I got a scholarship.
So, okay. So first of all, I'm doing an executive MBA. I'm not doing the normal MBA. And so the executive one is for people who've got experience, maybe more than 12 years management leadership experience, and people who are in the executive management roles and who want to just get that executive MBA. But I'll also touch a bit on the normal MBA and the other programs that they offer. Please excuse my voice. I've been having sleepless nights doing homeworks, so I hope you guys can
Don't
hear
worry.
me. Okay. So with the school where I'm going to, London Business School, it's got a couple of master's degrees and a PhD. I've met a couple of Zimbabweans, the young ones, who are doing their MBA. They've probably got 3 years experience or less, but though they've probably identified them as future leaders. So I would encourage those who want to do international MBAs at, for me, I looked for a university that was listed as probably in the top 10 in the Financial Times, and I only targeted those ones. I wanted the best. And London Business School was my first option. So when they responded, there are deadlines that you'll find on their website depending on which program you want. They've got different start dates. But I would like to particularly speak about 2 programs, the one that I'm doing and the normal MBA, because the normal MBA is where most guys with their degrees, with just a bit of experience, want to do. So I would like to encourage everybody to look to note their deadlines, their application deadlines. There's a lot of preparation that needs to be done before you apply. There's some tests that you need to take, that you need to prepare your CV, you need to have your degrees, your transcripts, all those things. You need to have them before you apply. If you are shortlisted and if you are interviewed and if you get the place, that's now on the later stage, that is when you can now apply for scholarships. So there are some scholarships. I can say most of the scholarships, they only offer them to students who are already accepted. So also in my situation, I was accepted into the program. Then that's when I applied for the scholarship. So I was given a scholarship for global excellence. It's just for upcoming leaders. But you'll find with the
Wow.
MBA, it's for, you can apply for it. There are so many scholarships. You can apply, and then depending on which one you get, they can range from as little as 1,000 to as much as, I'm not sure with the figures, 30, 40,000 pounds. But that can cover part or most of your school fees. But you should not worry and say, where will I get the difference? Other students, they apply for the Prodigy loan. It's a loan offered to students doing their masters in top universities. They've got a selection of universities that they work with. So that's what most people are doing. They get the scholarship and then they get the loan. So the loan will now cover for their day-to-day, and then the scholarship will obviously cover for their tuition. As long as you get into, well, I can't guarantee, but most times, 99% of the time, as long as you get a place at these top universities, I can just say that you are guaranteed of a good future. So you shouldn't worry about getting a loan and wanting 100% scholarship. Just find your way there, work hard, and everything else will fall into place. Like I've been there now for 4 months. I've just finished my first term, and I don't look for jobs. Jobs look for me. I don't look for opportunities. Opportunities look for me. I just
Wow.
network, and everything else comes to me. So you want to be at that level where you go to a school where you know that it's recognized, and everything else will work out. Okay, I'm just trying to read the comments. So
Okay, that's fine.
my advice for the young generation, especially those with at least minimum of a degree, probably an honors as well, who would like to explore international opportunities as well, is if you really want to go into a business school, try to look to apply to those top universities. It's possible, guys. I don't have A level. I only have O level. but I did the UNISA bridging course. I then did the degree, BCom, and here I am. I'm at one of the top universities. It's London and Columbia Business School. So it's not all about what you have, it's about what you want in life.
Amen.
So
Very true
please
to that.
apply to any place you want, give it your best, write the test they want, give them everything that they want, and then also ask for scholarships, even if you've been accepted. And you'll find that you will get help when you're accepted than before you're accepted. So aim to get a place, because then thereafter you can speak to the admissions people and say, look, I don't have money. What other options do you guys have? Do you have scholarships?
Yeah.
Where can I get a loan? What do I do? Can I get a visa that can allow me to work? You know, there are those options that are available as well. I don't know if you've got questions. I'm really trying to cover as much.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. If you still have more to share, bring it on.
Yes.
No, you are doing very well.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. So I'd like to
Yeah.
offer advice, and I wouldn't really want to say assistance, but mostly advice, and the direction people can take if they want to apply at London Business School and Columbia Business School, because I go to both universities. I go to London and Columbia for my studies every month.
Okay.
So if there's anything anybody wants from those two universities in terms of information, or the people to contact to get information, please feel free to inbox me. I'll start checking my inboxes. And the website has got all the information you need. It's got also the application. I think there's an application button somewhere there, and there's if you go to the London Business School website, you also see the fundings that are available. There's pages and pages. So whilst I'm looking at this, it seems like most of the funding is given to students who have been accepted. So that's where
Anyway, they wouldn't give you before you get accepted. What if you run away with their monies?
No, they won't give you. Remember, the money doesn't
They won't
come
give
to
you before you get accepted.
They won't give you the money, but what they do is they write off your school fees. So
Yes,
they want you to first, because if I'm not mistaken, with the big business schools, they probably have a 4 to 8% acceptance rate, meaning in 100 people, probably 5 or up to 10 people are accepted. The rest are rejected. So what I wanted to say is, try by all means to make it. It's easy, it's not difficult. Give them all they want, write their test and pass their entrance test. And then if you don't know how to prepare for the what do you call them, the interviews that they do, sometimes they'll call you and say it's face to face or via Skype. If you don't know what to do and what to say, and if you just are hesitant, there are people who assist people in these preparations for interviews. So don't go there thinking, oh no, I'm just going to tell them it's me, I want to do this, I passed your test. You have to be prepared for it. There are things you go and say, and there are things you don't say. You know.
Amen. That's really true.
Like for us in the business school, they wanted to see if we are business minded. So you get prepared for it. Okay.
Yeah.
So my advice sorry.
Okay, I was going to ask you, when I went for my interviews, we were given like paperwork to work on. And you know what, part of those interviews we had, because it was a full day interview, we had to work in groups where we had like supervisors, just like they are just there looking, you do your discussions. But no, they were not just looking. They were checking how are we talking to each other, how are we working as a group. So like you might be the one who talks too much and you override everybody. Yes, they are noting it down that, you are not a team player. So it's definitely right what you are saying, that, it's not just about writing that test and going home. It's a presentation as well. The whole you counts.
Yes.
So good preparation is the key. That's very true. I can say that from my own experience.
Yes. And like I said, and this is important for everyone to note, I do not have A level. I finished O level. Then I went to Polytech to do mechanical engineering before I did accounts. So it's not about being an A plus student. It's about you demonstrating that, like in my part, they wanted to see if I've got leadership and business skills or potential, not to have, do you have a potential to be converted into? So for those who are joining these business schools, they want to see if you've got that potential to be. So in the interviews, like my interview, I had a panel of, interviewers, business people, and they would ask, business stuff. And I, I think I just recently started watching Sky, Bloomberg, all those business things. And so they could tell that this person started recently. So you need to prep yourself from now if you want to know how to lead a business, start a company and everything. Start now, watch the news, watch what's going on. Because those are the things that they ask you in the interview. Oh, do you know how the rand or the dollar was performing 5 years ago? Do you think it was related to the whole China and USA, whatever? And right now you're not watching it, right? But you want to be a business leader. Or can you tell us more about maybe the elections happening? Is it in Italy? What do you think is going to happen? Or did you hear about this other thing? How do you think it's impacting this? Or Facebook's Libra coin? Do you think it's a good cryptocurrency? You have to know what's going on. If you want to be a business leader, you must know. Don't expect them to come and say, oh, there's Facebook, there's Zuckerberg. No, go with your basic knowledge and then they'll finish off everything. So in interviews, you can be asked anything in that field that you're going for. So I would really encourage people who want to venture into business, leadership, and entrepreneurship in future to start preparing themselves now. Because if you're going to apply to these business schools, they will definitely ask you such questions in the interviews. And you don't want to be caught off guard and just talking about your school knowledge. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's really beautiful. Any last word from you, please?
Yes. If anyone wants information regarding Columbia Business School and London Business School, please feel free to contact me. I may not have all the answers, but I will direct you to the right places. In terms of the scholarships, like I told you, I got a scholarship for global excellence. So I managed to get about 45,000 US dollars from both schools. They were looking for 2 people out of 190 people, and I was one of the 2.
Wow, congratulations, my lady. That's really powerful there.
Yes, and the only thing that they wanted was just a short description of how you would change the world or what you want to do. And one of the things I noted was I would like to help kids from poor background in terms of education, getting access to information. So this is also part of what I wrote in my in my essay. So like I said, it's not all about your grades, it's about what you want. If you really want something and you put your heart into it, you will get it. Just look at the deadlines. If it's passed now, don't worry, start preparing for the next one. Have at least about 10 colleges or universities that you guys are applying to, and make sure you do it right the first time.
Yeah. Okay. You do you mind if I do, like, I know I'm just catching you off guard now. We just spoke with Lennon that maybe we'll start a Facebook page, because he has already been working using WhatsApp group and other medias. But we would like to start a Facebook page where we will, like, bring people like you who've gone through the scholarships, and see if we can help others, like especially our youngsters back home or youngsters from anywhere who need that information. Will you be prepared to join us?
Yeah, sure. I've got a very hectic schedule until next year, December, but I'll try and make sure that I spare some time. If you can
Yeah.
tell me
No,
when, I'll make sure. I'll
yeah. No,
definitely
the thing
will.
is, like
I
what we are
promise you.
thinking. Yeah, what we are thinking, it will be like, no, no,
Just
yeah.
1 second. Hello, Ed 10. How are you? Thank you for the encouragement. That's all.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, you were
So what
thinking
we
that?
are thinking is, yeah, people like you or people like other people who've got the information. You go in at your time where you can help, and you just pick whatever questions that are there, and then we just deal with them just like that. They won't be like, you, because we know people are busy. Because you've said you will help, then if you don't help, somebody will come after you. So it will be more like a lesser fee, but something that will be going on and working at. We still don't have a plan how it will work out. But
Okay.
I'm just thinking now that you've come, if you'll
Yes,
be interested.
I will be interested. I've got a
Yeah.
couple of also Zimbabweans and South Africans. I'm in
Yeah.
South Africa right now, who would be
Okay, brilliant.
interested to take part in this whole thing, because we're already running our own, I could say, it's not like a trust or anything, but we do help other kids out there. But I know if
Wow.
I tell them about this, they'll be very interested in assisting.
This is beautiful. Like that's why we
Yeah.
started this, that people are doing things there, but each and every one of us is doing one thing in their little corners. But if we
Yeah.
network, I think we will do much more, because like, look, what you are telling me, I didn't know about that. So that's new information
Yes.
for me that I can now pass on to others. So that's the whole idea. That's like, guys, you have done something, you have achieved something. Come out and share that information. It will definitely benefit somebody. And I know what. Thank you so much for
One last
taking
advice
time.
as
And
well.
yes, please.
One last one, yeah. I know mostly for the A-level students, they're normally like confused. Do I go to use it? Do I go to MSU? Do I go to UNISA? Oh, UNISA is too cheap. I wish I could do VET. I wish I could do. You know what? Undergrad, don't stress your parents if they can afford. If they can't, I did with UNISA, you know. So it doesn't matter where you do, as long as it's a recognized institution.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
don't waste your time trying to chase your dreams at that level. Start probably when you get the undergrad. Then that's when you say, okay, I got a cheap degree. What can I do to improve myself thereafter? So
That's
as
a
much as
very
we are
good
all
point.
trying to go, we are all trying to get into the best schools and everything else. I know people who've gone to probably what others would call not nice schools, but then they've done better afterwards. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
to all the A levels who've passed or who are writing right now, please don't stress. Just go and do your degree somewhere. Don't take a gap year. I don't believe in that. Go to school, finish once, and then enjoy your money later. Don't be like me at 37, you're busy going back to school. It's not nice.
30 something, you are still, I'm 41 and I'm back at school.
Aye. No, it's not nice. They must work hard. They must work hard now. They must not say, oh, she's doing it at 41. They must
Yeah,
work
no,
hard
all I'm
now.
trying to say is it's not
I'm
too
young.
late. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
you
it's
see,
not
that's what I'm
today.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You are looking at yourself and you think, oh God, I'm so old. And I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, I am very old.
The oldest guy I've learned with in my undergrad was 53. That's
I
over
beat that one. I had a 63-year-old.
that was like over like probably over 12 years ago. It was 53, and
Yeah,
the oldest I've had so far is yeah 50s there, and
yeah.
they work so hard. Oh my gosh, they are hard workers. They pass. Oh, you know what? I'd rather be like in the same group with those guys, because they are hard workers.
They are serious.
They
They know what life is. You don't know what
True.
made them come back to school. So it is an
I'm telling you.
opportunity.
I'm telling you. Anyways, all the best, and thank you so much.
Yeah,
And if you've got any questions, and if you'd like to interview more people who've also got scholarship, I've got a couple of guys that I know, also Zimbabweans
yeah,
from different universities overseas. So,
yeah.
but like I said, it's not full scholarships, and I've given them the tip of saying you can still get the the loan to cover up. And some of the visas that you get, actually most of the visas you guys get if you're full time, will allow you to work probably about 20 hours a week. So you'll be fine. As
Normally
long
it's
as you
like
get
that.
a place, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a question for you here from Chipanga Mate Nyembes. He said, I missed the Fortunate's point about South Africa. Sorry.
Was it regarding the university?
I think so. It just came in. I think it should be one of the last points that we're just talking about.
All right. So I'm staying in South Africa, but I'm doing my master's in London and New York, right? But what I was advising the A level, the ones who are writing now or the ones who finished, the ones who are looking for university places, like they're still confused in terms of where to do their undergrad. What I wanted to say was that you should not stress too much about where you guys will go for your undergrad. Yes, it's nice to go to the best. Everybody wants to go to UCT, to UZ. Everybody has got what they call their best. I'm not saying UCT or UZ is the best, but what I was saying is I don't have A levels. I only have O levels, and the only institution that could take me with my O levels was UNISA, right? So I did a bridging course, which was like 6 months then, and then they allowed me to start my degree. So I had to work extra hard to finish my BCom, specializing in accounting science, right? So what I meant was, then people would look at UNISA and think, it's a low university, but it is what you then achieve after that. So don't worry about going to the best and this one is the least. That should be the least of your worries. That's all I wanted to say. Lean on your seat. Okay, my dear. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No, once again, like really an honor to have you on board, and thank you so much for sharing. If you have the opportunity and the chance, please send us those links that you have been talking about, and then we will pin them to this session so that whoever listens to just have the information straight away. Whenever you are ready, and then you just send it over. All right.
Let me just see if you can get it now.
Yeah, that would be like really marvelous.
That's my that's the uni that I go to. Yeah.
All right,
guys, feel free to inbox me if you've got questions, and I'll direct you to the right people. But I cannot answer or help in everything. I'll try to assist where I can.
No, where you can is already something really big. It's not just common, like who would say it's okay. It's almost one of those things. It's really a sacrifice, because with that time you will be doing something else that is better for you. But if you take your time to do something, then that is really amazing. So thank you once again, and I wish you a really beautiful, well-deserved night. Thank you so much. Later. Cheers. Okay, you heard that. That was really fantastic. I really had a great time. I enjoyed that. So, my dear Lennon, are you still there? So that I can add you? Give me a sign that you are there, and then I can add you again. I need to add you, my friend. So where are you? So that I can add you again. Okay, I'm trying to add Lennon again so that he can come and answer a few questions. So once again, thanks to Fortunate for this spontaneous joining of the session. That was really amazing. Yeah, I hope you picked up some good things there, some good information, real powerful information there. So one thing that I would say is, I hope you heard that don't look down upon yourself and you think because you didn't make it O level, and then your life is ended. Okay, your life doesn't end because you don't have you don't have your A levels. There are ways to go back to school and continue from where you left. So make sure you talk to those who know. Okay, and make use of those opportunities.
All right, so I'm trying to add Lennon once again. My technology. Looks like my technology is striking, my dear. It doesn't like you anymore. Let's see. I'm trying to add you again. Yeah, this is really powerful. I'm so glad that you're getting something out of this. Like we said, if you have children, if youngsters, or even you yourself,
If you want to go back,
You're
Hello,
back now.
back.
So I'll keep quiet again while you still talk.
I'll keep quiet again.
I still have my echo.
I still have my echo.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Fortunate, for the information. That was really powerful and very encouraging. So I wanted to say, Vimbai, I think we can create a network. I'm sure there are people who are watching right now who might have even more resourceful information than we have. So if you guys out there know, Fortunate, please. Okay. So if you know of anybody who has information, Yema scholarships, people who know something about leadership, about these applications who've gone through these processes. There's Yali. Yali, Southern Africa, is Young African Regional Initiative. It's a leadership initiative. So there are a lot of these personal development initiatives that can make our people better and our communities better. I think it's important that we continue the conversation, that on a platform like this, you may invite more similar-minded people who are exposed and we have knowledge about these things, so that we also share this information with a lot of other young people. So what I'm going to do, I'm just thinking off it. What I'm going to do is to compile a list of all the scholarships that I know, and people can look at the requirements for eligibility, and then we can assist each other with the application process and see if they can submit their applications on time. So thank you very much for the session tonight. I wish I could say some other things, but we can talk WhatsApp tone out Junofambe.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I
Yeah,
think that would be really
problem.
powerful. Like I
I
said,
think that would be really powerful. Like I
it would
said,
be easier
it would
if
be
we network.
easier
Because like you
if we
check
network.
what you're
Because
saying.
like you check
You
what
have
you're saying.
already started.
You have
Like
already
I said,
started.
please pardon
Like I
me
said,
that I
please
have an
pardon
echo.
me
I
that
don't
I
know
have an
like this
echo. I don't know
technology.
like this technology.
I just know I want to talk.
I just know I want to talk.
If you can see what
If
has
you
just
can see
happened
what
here,
has just happened here,
I know that Lennon has
I
been
know
doing
that Lennon has
scholarships
been doing
for children in the
for
villages
children
by
in the
himself with
villages
his
by
own
himself
network,
with his own network.
right?
Right?
Check what has happened.
Check
We
what
now
has
have
happened. We
Fortune,
now
who
have
just
Fortune,
called us
who
from
just
Norway,
called us from
right?
Norway.
She and her friends or her colleagues are already doing something similar.
Oh yes.
At their own time, at their
At
own
their
way
own
of doing
time,
things,
at their own way of doing things,
they are dealing with their
they
group
are
they are
dealing
dealing
with
with.
their group
So
they
you
are
see
dealing with.
the
So you see
importance of
the
networking.
importance of networking.
They
Oh
know
yeah.
They know
other sources
other
that we
sources
don't
that
know.
we don't know.
Yeah. So I think
That's why we are
That's why
saying
we are
let's
saying let's
network.
network.
yeah, a platform like this can help us to mobilize resources. Sometimes it's not about giving people money. It's about empowering other people through the knowledge that we know, our experiences, and just dialogue. When we dialogue and exchange ideas like this, you never know. It might change
Yeah.
somebody's life through this conversation that we are having. There might be somebody who's going to watch this tomorrow who knows even better scholarship opportunities and other platforms that can make the life of our people better. So I feel like we can have a conversation, WhatsApp, on how best we can mobilize and have a common conversation about these things together, then if maybe once a month or once in 2 weeks, we can have a scholarship platform where people just share and information is disseminated on WhatsApp or Facebook. Somebody who really needs these opportunities might come across these opportunities on these platforms. That's my idea of access to education. We need to simplify it. We need to make it more fashionable. We need to make it more accessible to our people, especially those, because there are some people who think, now that I failed O level, there's nothing more that I can do with my life. Now that I didn't do so well on my A level, or I finished the first degree, I do not have an idea where I'll get a job. I think we need to find ways of making it more easy for them to access these opportunities. Submit as many applications as you can. You never know, in the coming years, we might have people telling us stories. I have a few testimonies of people saying, I know, thank you for what you guys did for us. My proposal was accepted. Thank you for what you did for me. I now got that place at this university. So at A level, the level of competency with English language, I can only think of my English when I was A level. It's different from yeah, and you know, you're coming from a village setup, a village somewhere in Wedza there, and you really do not know how to put together, how to write a decent statement of motivation that is going to be read by a professor in England or a professor somewhere in Europe. So I feel like if they can write these things, if they can do drafts, and we look at these drafts before they are submitted, these are simple ways of making life easy for some of our people who really are hungry for opportunities. From the experience that Fortunate was telling us about, it seems she has more knowledge about how these things work, what they expect, the attitude that you need, the information that you need to be exposed to, and you know how to fully maximize some of the information that we take for granted, so that we better our lives. So I would want to propose that in one way or the other, we need to create a common platform where we can speak about these things, where we can make education fashionable. Because in Zimbabwe, it really doesn't make sense to go to school when you know that it's going to be very difficult for you to get a job. It's very difficult for students to make decisions because most of them, they're at boarding schools, their parents are in the diaspora. I get inquiries from parents. Lennon, my child is doing English, literature, history, and divinity. I do not know what she can do at uni. What are your options? If she's to come to South Africa, how does she go about the application process? What are the time frames? How do I put together? Can you help with this? Can you help with that? So I feel like as part of giving back, these are some of the things that we need to do, and we might create a conversation around these things with parents and also with students. So thank you very much for having me tonight. I really, really appreciate your kindness and generosity.
Lennon, the pleasure was mine. You made this like really great. And I am honestly hoping that it worked. Somebody got help. Before you go, we have a message from Fiona Chiwana. It reads, thank you guys for such a great discussion. The moment I heard about Melbourne, I looked it up and realized that PhD applications close at the end of the month. I looked up potential supervisors and wrote up an email while listening to look for potential supervisors, hoping for a positive feedback.
Yeah, I think I've talked to Fiona in the past, if I'm not, or maybe somebody else, but that is the scholarship that I was talking about. They also have got quite a number of master's scholarships. They are opening, they're closing in less than 2 weeks from now. end of this month, they're going to be closing. There are full scholarships to the University of Melbourne. Then also in Adelaide, I don't know how they pronounce it. They also have got full scholarships. But it's much easier when this information is disseminated on WhatsApp in the form of a text or through email or on Facebook, where they can see the link, they can go through the requirements and see if they're eligible for application. So guys, let's spread this information to our people in Zim, people in the villages, people in townships. Let them know about these things and see if they can submit applications. It's quite unfortunate because there was a scholarship which was due Muswat 19, it was a Monday. The Canon Collins Trust to South African universities, they ended up closing yesterday. No, on Tuesday, that's when they closed. So
Sorry, I'm laughing. There is a comment from Chipanga Mate. Oh, I'm in Adelaide. I am here, but not even aware.
Yeah, so I'll send you Chipanga Mate Nyembese. I'll send you the information on your Facebook so that we can quickly work on submitting a proposal, because the process can be lengthy. You need to have a supervisor, you need to have a proposal, and you need to submit your application for admissions. So maybe next time, I do not know when. Today, what I've just done, I was thinking of it. I've just given ideas as to scholarships, but people really do not know the time frames, the processes you need to do. So maybe next time we can take time to discuss around the process, what you need to do, what are the requirements, what do they give, because my mother could not afford to take me to school. So when I was looking for scholarships, the only option I had was a full scholarship. I was not looking for partial scholarships or half the money because my mother could not afford. So I was lucky. My first degree is in philosophy. My first honors was paid for by the Catholic Church. It was a scholarship with the Gregorian University. Then after that, my LLB, my law degree, it was paid for by the Zim Presidential Scholarship. Then my master's in law was paid for by the MasterCard Foundation Scholarship. And then my PhD again is being paid for by a different scholarship. So I would want to think that God has his own ways of working and looking at an individual who's underprivileged but motivated. And I feel like some of the young people that I meet, I see a young me in them, somebody who's hungry to go to school but does not have the means to go to another country and, go really challenge the world and look at the face of the world and at least academically pass and go to the next stage. So I feel like, Vimbai, these are things that at some point we really need to discuss, create a conversation, and see how best we can find solutions within our means to help other people. So thank you very much.
No, the pleasure is mine. Thank you so much. Yeah, and we keep in touch. All right.
I will talk to you through WhatsApp. Bye.
Bye. Good night. Good night. Okay, guys. Thank you so much to Lennon for taking his time. We've spoiled his evening with us, but I hope we have helped this information up. Like once it's compiled, you can just like come back and be just checking on it. You will definitely have it. All right. So, that's what we are talking about. Look, he said it himself that he's a young boy or young man from the villages in Wedzade, right? All the way to South Africa by himself just to go and start university as an undergraduate. Now, did you hear what he said? He is a PhD student. Hey, did you hear that? So there is hope
It doesn't matter what background you are. Don't use it as an excuse why you cannot move on. Yes, your parents did what they did, right? And we thank them for whatever level they've managed to bring you to, right? But then you take it from there and do something with your life. Do something, change that situation yourself, and follow that dream that you have always wanted to. They are ways, right? They are really ways, but you have to look and look harder. It won't come by itself. You have to work for it. Okay, and grab all the hands that are stretched there to help you. Grab the information that is there to help you, and see that you make your way. All right, I hope we blessed somebody today. And I would say, yes, if I don't have any more questions, thank you so much to our guest speakers for tonight. And thank you to everybody who has been listening today. Please share the information. Let's encourage others. Let's be good role models. And yes, for all the other questions that you may have, send them in. Or, if you know any, like the information we've been talking about, scholarship, bursaries, please send them in. We'll pin them on the walls so that other people can benefit from that. So I'll say yes, thank you so much. And stay blessed to all the viewers on Facebook, on YouTube, and our listeners on Vini on One. I hope you have a beautiful evening and a great week. And once again, thank you so much. My name is Life Coach Vimbai Chuswa from Blackpool. Cheers.